Hello everyone, my name is Vijay Kumar and we are studying power engineering. In the last lecture, we have done the analysis of reaction turbine. Specifically, if I say in the last video, we have done the analysis for 50% reaction turbine, that is called Parsons turbine. Now in this lecture, we will do some numerical based on impulse turbine and reaction turbine. Let's start the topic. Let's see first question. A simple impulse turbine has mean blade speed of 200 meter per second. The nozzle are inclined at 20 degrees Celsius to the plane of rotation of blade. The steam velocity from nozzle is 600 meter per second. The turbine uses 350 kg per hour of steam. The absolute velocity at the exit is along the axis of a turbine. Now determine the inlet and exit angle of blade, power output of turbine, diagram efficiency, then the end thrust and its direction. So from this question, it is given U is given 200 meter per second. Nozzle angle, that means alpha 1 is given 20 degrees Celsius, and absolute velocity at the inlet of steam, it is given V1 is equal to 600 meter per second. Mass flow rate of steam is given 3500 kg per hour. Okay. Now if I draw the inlet velocity triangle and outlet velocity triangle for this question, so we will get this. This one is the inlet velocity triangle and U is the blade velocity, alpha 1 nozzle angle, V1 absolute velocity, relative velocity, and this one is the blade angle at the inlet of a blade. Now you see in this case, it is given that the absolute velocity at the exit is along the axis of a turbine. In my previous video, I have told that axis of the turbine is like this. Axis will be like this. So the absolute velocity is exiting from the steam turbine perpendicularly. It is given that the absolute velocity at the exit is along the axis. That means it is perpendicular to the U. So the outlet velocity triangle, we will get the rectangle triangle. Outlet velocity triangle, we will get the rectangle triangle. So in this case, U is the blade velocity, VR2 relative velocity at the exit of a steam turbine, beta 2 is the blade angle at the exit, V2 is equal to VF2 in this case, and alpha 2 is equal to 90 degree. Okay, now in this case, we will calculate one by one all the things. First, beta 1 and beta 2, we have to calculate the inlet and exit angle of blade. So from the velocity triangle, if you know the tan beta 1, we have to calculate this beta 1. So how I will calculate? We know that this beta 1 we will calculate, and we have given V1 and VF1 is the flow velocity. So from this case, you can calculate tan beta 1 is equal to VF1 divided by V1 cos alpha minus U. VF1 divided by V1 cos alpha 1 minus U. So VF divided by V1 cos alpha minus U, that means this one. So I am considering this triangle. This is a right angle triangle. So VF1 divided by V1 cos alpha 1 minus U. So we will get this line. Perpendicular divided by base is equal to tan beta 1. So from this equation you see V1 is given 600, alpha 1 is given 20. So sin alpha 1, that means sin 20 degree, divided by V1 600 into cos alpha 1 cos 20 minus U is given 200. So we can calculate tan inverse. If we solve this value is equal to 600 into sin 20 and 563.81 is equal to 600 into cos 20. Basically we have solved these values and we have put all these values here. When we solve this equation, tan inverse and this angle, then we will get beta is equal to 29.4. This is the beta 1, sorry, this one is the beta 1, that is equal to 29.4. Now we have to calculate beta 2. Now we have to calculate beta 2. In this case, you can easily see that beta 2 is an right angle in a right angle triangle. It is in a right angle triangle. So in this case, assume k is equal to 1. That means VR1 is equal to VR2. We are assuming that k is equal to 1. That means VR1 is equal to VR2. That means no friction is there. So what will be the VR1? So from this triangle, apply the Pythagoras theorem. Apply the Pythagoras theorem. In this case, you see here VF1 square plus V1 cos alpha minus U ka whole square. Now VF1, what is VF1? We have solved V1 sin alpha 1 square plus V1 cos alpha minus U ka whole square. Then V1 sin alpha. This is V1 sin alpha and we got this value 205.21 ka square plus V1 cos alpha 1. We got this V1 cos alpha 1 minus U, that is 200. So if we solve this, we will get 363.81 to the power 2. So if we solve this equation, we will get VR1. VR1 will be equal to 417.7 meter per second. That is equal to VR2 also. Because in this case, k is equal to 1. So VR1 is equal to VR2 is equal to 417.7 meter per second. Okay. Now we have to calculate cos beta 2. From this velocity triangle, you can calculate the beta 2. So what is the cos beta 2? You know VR2 and you know what is U. So what is cos beta 2? Cos beta 2 will be U by VR2. U by VR2. So from this equation, you know value of U, you know value of VR2. So we will put and we will get the value beta 2. Beta 2 is 28.6 degrees Celsius. So friends, beta 1 and beta 2 we got. Now we will calculate the second question, that is power output of turbine. You know very well what is the power output of turbine? Mass flow rate into U into VW. So what is the mass flow rate? Mass flow rate is given in 3500 kg per hour. So we have converted it into kg per second into what is the velocity? 200 into VW. You see in this diagram what is VW? VW is equal to VW1 plus VW2. In this case, what is the value of VW2? VW2 in this case is 0 because the horizontal component of V2 is 0 because V2 is only vertical to the U. V2 is vertical to the U. So in this case, VW2 is 0. So VW2 is 0. So VW is equal to VW1 and VW1 is equal to V1 cos alpha 1. So VW1 is equal to V1 cos alpha 1 and V1 cos alpha 1 is 563.81. Now we will put this value in this equation. Then we will get power output of turbine 109.63 kilowatt. So friends, we have calculated this second question. Now let's see the third part of this question, diagram efficiency. You know the value of, you know the formula for diagram efficiency is U VW by V1 square by 2. You know value of U VW we got 563.81 divided by V1 square by 2. V1 is 600 square by 2 into 100. After solving this, we will get diagram efficiency 62.65%. Okay. Now last part of this question is the end thrust and its direction. What is the end thrust? End thrust is axial thrust basically, and axial thrust is equal to mass flow rate into change in velocity component of flow velocity component. That means VF1 minus VF2. So mass flow rate is this one, and VF1, we got the value of VF1. From this you can calculate easily what is the value of VF1. So VF1 is equal to, you see in this equation, VF1 is equal to V1 sin alpha 1 ka square. That means VF1 is equal to V1 sin alpha. So 205.12. This is the value of VF1. And what is the value of VF2? VF2 is equal to VR2 sin beta 2. From the outlet velocity triangle, we can calculate VR2 sin beta 2. So if we solve this, VR2 we know 417.7 into sin beta 2. Beta 2 we got 28.6 sin 28.6. After solving this equation, we will get the axial thrust 5.116 Newton. In this case, the direction will be from inlet to outlet axially. The axial thrust direction will be from the inlet to the outlet axially. Along the axis, axial thrust will move. Along the axis, axial thrust will apply. Okay, so friends, in this is the question of simple impulse turbine. Now let's see one question based on the reaction turbine. Let's see the question based on the 50% reaction turbine or Parsons turbine. A particular ring of a reaction turbine having 50% degree of reaction. The blade speed is 70 meter per second. U is given 70 meter per second. The mass of steam is 5 kg per second. Mass flow rate of steam is given. And dry saturated at 1.5 bar. Condition is given, the steam is dry saturated steam and at a pressure 1.5 bar. Both fixed and moving blade have inlet and exit angle of 35 degree and 20 degree respectively. Determine power developed in kilowatt by the pair of rings. Blade height, which is to be 1/10 the mean blade ring diameter. The heat drop pair if the steam expands with an efficiency of 80%. C, R is given 50%, it is a Parsons turbine. U is given 70 meter per second. Mass flow rate is given 5 kg per second. Now what is this? How I have written this? You see in this question, both fixed and moving blade have inlet and exit angle of 35 degree and 20 degree respectively. It is little bit confusing, so I'll explain here. आप ये देखिए कि इस ब्लेड के लिए जो स्टीम आ रही है नोजल से, वो नोजल का जो एंगल है वो क्या होगा? नोजल के लिए वो आउटलेट होगा. दैट मीन्स नोजल के लिए जो आउटलेट एंगल है वो अल्फा 1 है. नोजल के लिए जो आउटलेट एंगल है वो अल्फा 1 है. सो आउटलेट एंगल इज 20 डिग्री फॉर nozzle and blade also. So in this case, outlet angle for blade is beta 2. So beta 2 is also 20 degree. That means alpha 1 is equal to beta 2 is 20 degree. I think it is clear. Now about 20 degree. Now what is about 35 degree? This is the inlet. This is the inlet. An inlet for the blade and inlet for the nozzle. Inlet for the blade and inlet for the nozzle is 35 degree. For this blade, what is the inlet angle? Inlet angle is beta 1. So beta 1 is 35 degree. And what is the inlet for the nozzle? For nozzle, inlet will be this velocity. Inlet will be this velocity. So this velocity is the inlet for the nozzle. So this will be the alpha 2 is given 35 degree. Okay, I think it is clear. It was, the statement is little bit confusing. Now I have cleared this thing that alpha 2 is the inlet for the nozzle, alpha 1 is the outlet for the nozzle or exit for the nozzle. Beta 1 is the inlet for the blade and beta 2 is the exit for the blade. Okay, now from this we can write alpha 1 is equal to beta 2 is equal to 20 degree and alpha 2 is equal to beta 1 is equal to 35 degree. Okay, this is the 50% Parsons reaction turbine velocity triangle. This is the combined velocity triangle which I have drawn. Now let's see the question one by one. Power developed in kilowatt by pair of rings. You see in this case, what is the power developed? Power developed is mass flow rate into U into VW. So M is given 5, U is given 70. What is VW? What is VW? We have to calculate this VW. How we have to calculate? Because in this question now neither V1 is given, neither VR1 is given, neither V2 is given. Only U is given and all angles are given. So in that case, what you will do? In that case, you will find what is common. You see this line is common in inlet velocity triangle. This line is common in inlet velocity triangle. So we will use this concept. See here, V1 sine alpha 1. So V1 sine alpha 1, this is the perpendicular for this triangle. and this perpendicular value is V1 sin alpha 1. This will be equal to VR1 sin beta 1. You see here VR1 sin beta 1. This is for this triangle. So VR1 sin beta 1. Now from here VR1 is equal to V1 sin alpha 1 by sin beta 1. Okay. Now let's see. In this case, V1 cos alpha 1 is equal to U plus VR1 cos beta 1. Okay, V1 cos alpha 1, this is the horizontal component of V1 and it is equal to U plus VR1 cos beta 1. So I have written this. From here I can write VR1 cos beta 1 is equal to V1 cos alpha 1 minus U. Now we will put the value of VR1. So V1 sin alpha 1 by sin beta 2 into cos beta 1 is equal to V1 cos alpha 1 minus U. From this equation, I'll calculate V1. All values alpha 1, beta 1 is given, U is given. So after putting all values, we will solve this equation and we will get V1 is equal to 155.13 meter per second. Now, this is a 50% Parsons turbine. So in this case, VR2 is equal to V1, VR1 is equal to V2. So V1 is equal to VR2. Then VR2 will also be equal to 155.13 meter per second. Now we got V1, VR2. Now we have to calculate VR1. Put the value of V1 in this equation. So we will get the value of VR1. So V1 sin alpha 1 by sin beta 1. Now V1 is 155.13 into sin 20 by sin 35. After solving this, I'll get VR1 is equal to 92.5 meter per second. So in this case, VR1 is equal to V2 because it is a 50% Parsons reaction turbine and symmetric blades are there. So VR1 is equal to V2, that is equal to 92.5 meter per second. Now we have to calculate VW. And what is VW? In this case, VW is equal to VW1 plus VW2. What is VW1? It is V1 cos alpha 1 plus V1 cos alpha 1 plus VR2 cos beta 2 minus U, or you can write V2 cos alpha 2. V2 cos alpha 2. From both way you can calculate. So I have written V1 cos alpha 1. This is VW1 and this one is the VW2. VR2. So VR2 is the horizontal component of this up to this point. So VR2 cos beta 2 minus this amount of U. So we will get this value. Okay, now what is V1 cos alpha 1? V1 is 155.13, cos alpha 1 is cos 20 plus VR2 155.13, V1 is equal to VR2, cos alpha 2 is cos 35 degree minus 70. After solving this, we will get VW is equal to 221.54 meter per second. Now what is the power? Power is equal to 5 into 70. We got the value of VW. We will put this value VW in this equation. So we will get 5 into 70 into 221.54. After solving this, we will get 77.54 kilowatt. So friends, we have calculated the power in this case. Now let's see what is the height. What is the height of blade? We have to calculate. It is given, the height is the 1/10 of mean diameter. It is given in the question. You see here, which is to be 1/10 of the mean blade ring diameter. That means height is equal to 1/10 of diameter. So diameter is equal to 10 in 10 times of h. Now you know mass flow rate is equal to rho AV. Mass flow rate is equal to rho AVF because this is the velocity through which the control volume of steam is flowing on the blade. VF is the mass flow rate of fluid which is flowing onto the blade. Okay, so rho AVF, rho is the density that you will get from the steam table. Consider this condition, the dry saturated steam at 1.5 bar. At 1.5 bar you will get the density, that is 1 upon 1.593 into what is the area? Area is the pi dm into h. This is the area for this blade. For the blade, this is the area pi dm into h into Vf is the flow velocity. So 1 upon 1.593 into pi into dm is given 10 into h. So I can write 10 into h square into Vf. Vf is equal to Vr1 sine beta 1. I have already explained this thing. Vf1 is equal to Vr1 sine beta 1. I'll take this triangle only. So from this, if I put all the values, I'll get h is equal to 6.91 centimeter or 0.691 meter. So this is the blade height. Okay. Now let's see what is the total enthalpy drop. What is the total enthalpy drop? In the question it is given the steam expand with an efficiency of 80%. That means nozzle efficiency is given 80%. So in this case, total enthalpy drop will be mass flow rate into an efficiency into total enthalpy drop. So mass flow rate into efficiency into this one is the V1 square by 2. This is the change in enthalpy in a fixed blade, and this one is the change in enthalpy in a moving blade. Okay, I have written opposite, but you have to see this is for moving blade, this one is for fixed blade. So VR2 square minus VR1 square by 2, and VR2 is equal to VR1 in this case. Sorry, VR2 is equal to V1 in this case. If I solve, I'll get V1 square by 2 plus V1 square by 2 minus VR1 square by 2. So VR2 is equal to V1. So V1 square by 2 plus V1 square by 2, it will be equal to V1 square. So I have written V1 square minus VR1 square by 2. VR1, all this value we got, this is the value VR1 92.5 and V1 is equal to 155.13. If I solve this equation, we will get 79.15 kilomole. So friends, in this video, we have seen two numerical. One is based on the impulse turbine. Second one is the reaction turbine. Specifically, that is 50% Parson turbine. Sorry, Parson turbine. That is 50% reaction turbine. Now this is all about the steam turbine. We have completed the steam turbine chapter. Now in the next chapter, I am going to start gas turbine. In the next video, we will see what is the gas turbine, what is the working principle of gas turbine, what type of arrangements are there in a gas turbine power plant. Thanks for watching this video and have a good day. Bye bye.